Welcome back. We're going to try to delid an AM5 9900X today. Stick around. This could get interesting. Welcome back to another episode of ChadrickTech. In this episode, we are going to attempt to successfully delid an AM5 CPU. Hopefully not kill it in the process. Now, these a little bit more complicated, so I understand, in terms of getting the lid off safely and effectively. If you've been following along on the channel, you know that I've been testing the AM5 platform. I have a 9900X CPU that I'm going through thermals with different water blocks, as well as different thermal mediums in terms of different pastes and liquid metal. I think that I've published as much as I could possibly publish in terms of OEM settings and PBO settings with the OEM IHS in place. It is now time to avoid the warranty. We're going to do this together, and it's not like I haven't killed a CPU before. So I've done this previously with the Intel side, the 14th gen CPUs, and I published how I effectively would delid a CPU. And I tried a couple different products. I just jumped right to the product that worked well for me last time, was the Thermal Grizzly Delid Dimate for the Intel side. Now I went ahead and picked one out for the AM5 platform, and we'll see how well this works. Hopefully I have a viable CPU by the end of this thing. So, because we have big plans, right? We've got a lot of other testing to get to, but first we have to get rid of this IHS. So, with that, stick with me here. Let's see if we can get this lid off safely, and you'll see every step of the process. I want to make sure that you know what you're in for, because I think that we're going to have to. It's going to be a ruling of attrition. We're going to have to move this IH back little by little by little by little and wear out the adhesive for it to let go. Versus the Intel side was just push it straight off until it breaks and the lid comes off. The Thermal Grizzly product was excellent for the Intel side. And I'm expecting great things on the AM5 platform. So let's see how well this works today. Come on in, take a peek, follow along. Okay, let's go ahead and get this started. So we're going to do a quick unboxing here of this product. This is an excellent product. I've told you I've used the Intel version before. The AMD version is very well packaged, very solid item. I really think this is money well spent. I guess as long as we have a viable CPU afterwards, right? So the first thing you want to do is take the Dimate apart. And there's two pulling screws that slide the mechanism back and forth, and then there are 4 securing screws that hold the CPU still while you move the IHS back and forth to break the glue. So you want to take these apart and then take the pulling screws apart so that you can place the CPU inside the Dimate. And you want to make sure that you line up the triangles so to orient it correctly when you're putting the CPU down in there. And that way, that means you're going to pull it back and forth the intended orientation. Put it back together. It should sit nice and flush. There's no forcing anything, but you can tell that it needs to. There's a gap there for it to be sliding back and forth. And I put the pulling screws back in at first. Now, you got to remember, the pulling screws need to have some space on each end, because you're going to tighten one, the other one has to be loose, right? And so once you get these 4 secured, then it's actually time to get started. And I wanted to do this by hand to see really what I was in for here, so I'd be able to report well my experiences back to you. So I started, and they said anywhere between 30 and 50 times you would need to, go back and forth to break the glue apart. Well, I went ahead and used this wrench and did a manual process from the very start. This is the very first turn. And then you want to loosen it up and then loosen that side and then tighten the other side and pull it back the other direction. And then just keep going back and forth until the glue breaks and the lid is off. Well, I did this for 50 times, back and forth. And I thought, well, that's enough.
I was hopeful that I'd get lucky and it would break loose in 50 attempts. I just sort of arbitrarily said, I'm going to do this 50 times and see how well we do. And I needed to do more. So when you're going to do more than this, what you really can do is get your drill out with a 4mm bit and put it on a light setting. You're not trying to crank, you're not trying to torque anything, because it doesn't move that difficult at this point. You're feeling the glue flex back and forth. It's just not giving up yet. It's just getting easier and easier and easier, but slowly and slowly and slowly getting easier. So after 50 attempts, I went ahead and put the 4mm bit on my drill and went back and forth with the drill bit. And that was much easier, much quicker. But like I said, I wanted to start using the tool as intended and report back to you. But so you tighten it down, loosen it up a little bit, tighten it down on that side, and you can really see it pulling back and forth a lot better with the drill and how this tool really works.
3 hours later.
It should slide back and forth just like that. And so then you just take the die made apart, and you have a loose IHS on top of the CPU and the PCB. Dump it out in your hand and you'll see what you're working with underneath. Now, interestingly enough, there's some differences between the Intel side and the AMD side. This was much smaller tolerances to break that glue, so it took a lot. But it wasn't a lot of glue that was holding it. If you notice, it's just 8 dots, and that's it, holding that IHS on, plus the solder, right? I mean, you did have to break the solder as well. But if you look right there, it does seem like there is protective coating over all the other chips on the PCB already. Like on the Intel side, we had to use clear fingernail polish and cover up any PCB chips aside from the die to protect it. Well, in this situation, you can even see in this picture, they're already covered, OEM from the factory. And look how easy this glue just sort of pushes right off. So taking the lid off of the 13th and 14th gen CPU is easy. That's the hard part with AMD. The hard part with the Intel side is being very careful and taking that glue apart all the way around. Here, there's just a few dots you got to scrape off, and you didn't really have to soak it in alcohol or get fancy with it. You just took your time, kept the tool flat, and scrapes it right off. So, kudos. That was a welcome reprieve. So now, all we got to do now is start cleaning up the die. And you put like a liquid metal product back on top. This was from my Rocket Cool kit. That I don't know if it's good, a good product, a bad product. I'm using Thermal Grizzly, Conductinaut Extreme for when we're going to run the testing. But this is a similar type of product that's just going to dissolve the gadolinium, I believe it is. And you can see that I've got a flat toothpick that comes with a kit. You can see how it's sort of getting stuck a little bit. It's hard to push around, but it's starting to dissolve the product that's sitting on top of the die, that glues the die and the IHS together. Give it some time, it gets easier to work, and then you'll start to realize when it's time to wipe it off and do it again, because this is going to take 2 or 3 times to get it cleaned up. Then you wipe it off and it smears all over the PCB, so then you have to go back and you have to clean it up. And I use a soft Q-tip. I even had some leftover thermal paste, and you just clean it up the best you can. You can notice, hey, there's still some spots here. I need to go back and reapply the liquid metal and clean it up. Once you do that 2 or 3 times, whatever it takes, clean it up, and then you get your Flitz polish out and you start working the polish. Now the Q-tip, just in that short amount of time, look at how it got dark already. So this is a good step to go ahead and clean it up, get some level of mirrored polish or mirrored finish on the die, and hopefully get some really good heat transfer here, assuming we have a viable chip. And what I would do is go back and forth between a Q-tip, and then I'd also use watered up tissue paper, and then even would clean it off with alcohol to see where I was, and do the final rub with a microfiber towel to clean it up. Now, interestingly, it had a couple specs. That's smooth. So that's a weird finish on top of that die. But I put it in, applied the liquid metal, and it posted just fine. And then it would go into Windows. So we have a viable chip. Now it's time to get back to work. And let's just see how well we can do with the delidded CPU and the other cooling options that we want to test. So again, hope you've enjoyed and stuck with me here, and now you know what you're in for. It's not that difficult of a process. It does take some time. Take your time, go easy. You'll make it using this Thermal Grizzly product. Again, another top-notch product from Thermal Grizzly. Okay, so with that, stay safe. God bless.